channel. Just want to say, hey man, happy Monday, man. Going on 2 o'clock in the morning. Happy Monday to everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Overseas. You know what I'm saying? In the trenches, wherever you at, man. Happy Monday. You know what I'm saying? Man, yesterday was Sunday, man. I ain't get on here Sunday because I had just had a nice little outlet this Sunday. Went to a winery, man, and I ain't been to a winery in a minute, man, but went on a little date with my girl, man. Look, beautiful woman, man, inside out, man. Hey, man, just beautiful woman, man. I'm gonna just say that, man. But we went to a winery yesterday, and man, it was nice, man. You know what I'm saying? City Winery in Chicago. To all my fellas out there, man, if you ain't never, if you want somewhere to go with your old lady, man, your girlfriend, your wife, or whatever, she like wine, and, man, try the City Winery, man. Not too expensive, you know what I'm saying? Nice price, man. Nice outing. The ambiance is nice. You know what I'm saying? They have like live bands, or they have like we went today, it was a podcast, man. It was a real nice podcast, man. And it's too feminine for my ears, but I really enjoyed it, man. Man, to glance around and just see, the ambiance of how, the ladies in the room was excited to hear the Getting Grown. Shout out to them young ladies, man, on the Getting Grown podcast, man. Man, they got a real nice podcast, man, where it's like, to me, they like one woman empowerment type group. Like, it's a woman empowerment type group of women that, just talk to the ladies about, self-care, growth, and, they podcast is nice. I'm gonna just say that, man. I really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed, I sat in the back because I didn't want to sit up front, you know what I'm saying? Man, I just, wanted to be in the cut, man. Like, when I go out, I always try to be off in the cut, when it come to things, I don't like to be all in the open, I like to be in the cut. But the podcast was real nice, man. It's like a woman empowerment type thing, and man, I really enjoyed myself, man. You know what I'm saying? Just going, with her, you know what I'm saying? Drinking different, doing wine tastings, and got a little buzz, ate a little good, the food in there pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people, man, to my homies out there, man, look, if you ain't never been to the City Winery, check it out, man, because you really have a good time in there, you know what I'm saying? You'll really enjoy it, man. The ambiance is nice. Your old lady enjoy it. I mean, a lot of people come to the City Winery and do like shows and performances and things of that nature. So, man, check it out, man. I had a good time, and me and my girl was talking, and she, we were just talking about how, they need more men podcasts like that, what it's like men empowerment and self-care for men, and podcasts on men on how they treat women, like, podcasts that teach young men how to become real men, you know what I'm saying? And I was telling them, man, that's a good idea, man. Like I say, when I get a bigger space, once I get, a bigger shop, that's my goal, man, to not only have a barbershop, but have a podcast in the back of the barbershop where, have people, running, just doing, talking about life, life, real life, like life out here in the world, you know what I'm saying? Men in the barbershop, like we have a lot of barbershop discussions and barbershop talks. In my barbershop, I want to have a podcast in the back of the shop that, like I say, it can be going, every day, like an everyday podcast. Like anybody, like man, this is my goal and dream to just have a barbershop, but in the back of the barbershop have like a little lounging area, podcasting area where people can, every day it's just rolling. Every day the podcast is just going. People can just go back there and we can just talk about different subjects and like I say, hopefully have a men empowerment type situation going in the barbershop throughout the day. That's a goal of mine. Like when she was saying that, I was already, what she didn't know is, man, that's always been my goal is to, uplift black men. I've been doing that anyway, what I'm saying, just in my barber chair, just talking to young brothers and, just trying to keep them level headed and giving them some words of advice and some encouragement and positivity and leads on anything that can better their life as young men and men. I always do that. Like I had a young brother I cut tonight, man, after I left the shop. I mean left the album with with my girl. I had a young man that came in tonight, and shout out to man, that's my little buddy, man. He come in the shop, man, cause I ain't seen him in a while. So sometimes when I don't see my clients in a while, that I know, man, man got into a little situation back in the day, a little trouble here and there. I always like to check up on him and ask him, man, hey man, where you been, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. You been good? You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about me, man, if I've been cutting you from, for a minute, man, I consider you as good people. And, I like to check up on you, make sure you good, you know what I'm saying? Um, I do that with not only, my clients that I met throughout the years, but I do that with my homies I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Any one of the guys I grew up with, man, hey man, how you doing, man? If I see you, man, I want to check up on you, make sure you good, man. You straight, you know what I'm saying? If you need anything, if I got it to give, it's yours. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am with, people, man, And little guy came in the shop, man. I was just telling him, I ain't seen him in a minute. He like, man, I gotta go to court tomorrow. Man, look, man, I hope that, work out for you. But, man, you got to stay out of trouble, man, and stay out the way because, man, look, man, I don't want you getting jammed up in no more trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? That way of living it's not for us anymore. I'm going to just say that, you know what I'm saying? So, little bro, man, it's always a good thing talking with him, man, because, we always had some good conversations, too, like, just some positive stuff. And one thing about that young brother, he's smart, man. And I like talking to young brothers that's not only smart, but understand and want to do better with themselves. And I get a lot of them brothers come in my chair, man. I love talking with them, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these young brothers growing up, man, and they getting wiser and getting smarter and man, I think that's a good thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because in life, you just don't want to live, you just want to have a positive mind, man. You just want to be, and I always talk about this on these podcasts, y'all. You just want to live in a positive space, man. Because when you got positivity in your life, man, that brings about peace. You know what I'm saying? And when you got peace and a peace of mind, man, you just, man, look, you operating in your higher self, as I say, man. When you got a peace of mind and you got peace in your life, you operating in your higher self. And that's how everybody should be operating, man. Don't be hateful, don't be mad. Because there's a lot of people out here, man. Like I talk to people, I work with some people that just unhappy, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, in life, man, man, you can't go around living life like life is hard. Like I say, don't get me wrong, man. Life is hard out here. But you can't live your life just miserable and unhappy all the time, man. Like, I don't understand people like that. You know what I'm saying? And if you like that, man, you know, if I'm in your life and I'm around somebody like that, I gotta remove myself from them because, man, look, man, don't get me wrong, life is hard, man. Life is hard. Believe me, man, it's rough. Life is rough, tough, hard, but man, you know, you gotta always just have a positive outlook. You gotta always be prayed up, thankful, you know, because it can be worse. You know, I tell people this all the time, man. Life can be so much worse, you know. It also can be so much better, but it can be so much worse, man. Just think about a lot of people that's living, man. That's man. They, you know, man. Look, man. I'm thankful and grateful to God, man, and I thank Him every day. Every morning I wake up, I'm thankful. You know, I thank God, man. You know, I done been through some tough situations in my life. Well, man, look, I almost lost my life several times. You know, and by it not happening, I realized something. That ain't nothing but God doing, man. God got me here for a purpose and a reason. And I feel like I'm serving my purpose by talking to young people, encouraging young people, motivating people, um, you know, just showing a positive look. Everybody who see and know me, like, man, you don't, bro, you seem like the coolest guy, you know what I'm saying? You don't, you don't seem like you be on nothing, you know. And I explain to brothers, look, man, I wasn't always like this. Like when I was younger, man, I was different. You know what I'm saying? But the older you get, man, you realize, man, you know, you just want to be right, man. You want to, you know, you want to serve your purpose in this world. You want to be right by God and serve your purpose through um you want God to use you to help others. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I feel like I'm here for. You know, and man, I just like helping others, man, and just teaching people a better way. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have a male father figures growing up to teach us. Like, you know, I grew up in a single parent home. You know what I'm saying? Just my mama, my brother, and sister, and my older brother. You know, he was going in and out of prison when I was younger. So that was one thing in my life that kept me level headed, or kept me, you know, every time I go visit him or my cousin, man, rest in peace, my cousin, man. Shout out, man. Look, rest my cousin's soul, man. You know, going to see him in prison and my brother. You know, one thing my mom and auntie used to do was take me to go see them, you know what I'm saying, in prison. And we on that ride to go visit them, you know, my auntie or my mom would be telling me, look, you don't want to go here. You don't want to go, you don't want to be like them. You know, my mama used to tell me that, you know, if you look on my Instagram, I say Instagram, you look on my TikTok page, you'll see a picture of me and my family going to visit my brother in prison. You know, I had a big fro then, but you go on my TikTok page, you will see it. You know what I'm saying? Same prison Mike Tyson was in. The same picture, actually, Mike Tyson and Tupac took the infamous picture, prison picture. Me and my brother got the same picture in that same spot. You know what I'm saying? If you go on my Instagram page, you will see, my TikTok page, you will see it. But yeah, man. My brother was in prison, and my mom used to take me up there to see him, and she used to always tell me like, you don't never want to go here. You don't never want to be like your brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm bringing you here so you can see how he living and see how, you know, the do's and don'ts. You know, and I'm not gonna lie, man. Every time like we was leaving the prison from seeing my cousin or my brother, you know, man, I cried. Like, man, damn, I want my brother or cousin to come home. Like, man, I hated that they was in there. But one thing that taught me watching them is like, man, that's a place I don't want to go. So what I do, man, I try to, you know, I all my life, you know, I just avoided it. You know, I did right, try to live right, man, so I wouldn't, you know, go there. And man, you know, I just thank God, man, you know. But what I try to do, because when I see youth that remind me of, especially people who remind me of like how my cousin and brother was moving, and my other, I always try to, talk to them young brothers. Like, man, look, you don't gotta move like that, young blood, because I don't want you to go to jail or lose your life. You know, man, you gotta make a change, man. You know what I'm saying? And just talking to young brothers, man, and I know I be getting to them because when they come, to the shop, every time I talk to these young brothers, man, it's like they get an understanding because the next time I talk to them, we always talking about something positive or something that's, you know, like something that, growth or trying to find job leads or trying to, be more educated and more knowledgeable about things. Cause see, that's the real goal in life, is to have brothers more aware. You know what I'm saying? Because like I always say, man, when we was growing up and young, man, we didn't have them had a father figure teaching us. You know what I'm saying? My mom was a single mom that worked. You know what I'm saying? When she was at work, man, we was doing Lord. She didn't know what we was doing. We was running the streets, man. Me and my older cousins. And man, mom and them cousin was at work when we was running the streets, so they didn't know what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? And man, I just think, nowadays, man, what people need to do is just start, being more, into their kids, man, and talking with them, checking on them, seeing how they doing, because you don't want them to go down the wrong path. It's so easy to do that, you know what I'm saying? Especially when there's no supervision in play, you know. I think every kid under the age of 17 needs strict supervision. You know what I'm saying? Strict supervision to just keep them on track, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a single mom and ain't no father figure in play. Strict supervision, man. You know. What stinks, man? Shout out to you, man. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ty Kappa. You know what I'm saying? You know, to you, man. But, you know, man, my thing is this, man. Strict supervision, you know what I'm saying, to these young bucks, man. You know what I'm saying? And man, keep them out the way, man. Keep them out of trouble, man. Keep them in a spot where they don't lose. Just be in jail, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers in jail right now that wish they wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, but subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. VELL the Barber, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, stay out of trouble. If you're a young kid on here, because, man, you seem like a young guy saying OG, calling me OG. You seem like you're a young guy. So I'm going to tell you, brother, stay out the way, man. Stay out of trouble, man. Live a good life, man. Live prosperous. You know what I'm saying? Because life is short, man. We only got one, man. Could you imagine, man, going through life and you got to do 100 years in prison? 100 years in prison for killing somebody, let's say. You done threw your life away. Could you imagine living in a 6x6 cell for the rest of your life? That is hell on earth. Never being able to touch a woman again. Man, look, man. To my young bucks out there, man, just straighten up, man. Get your life in order, man. Straighten your life up, man. Live righteous because, man, you don't want to go to jail, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go to jail, man. That's all I got to say. Want to live in peace. At least I do. You know, man. We want to live in peace, brothers. But man, I think the Taste of Chicago, was the last day of the Taste of Chicago. Um, man, I should have went, man. I know there's a lot of people down there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people I knew was down there. And I'm mad I didn't go, y'all. Man, Bears play tomorrow, man. Who y'all got, man? I got the Bears winning tomorrow. I hope they do, rather. Job from all walks of life in the world. Dang, man. Chicago Sky, they keep getting their asses blowed out. They was going to lose anyway, with injuries or not. A 16-year-old boy is shot and wounded in the Chicago South Shore neighborhood. Now, where did this happen at? 67th and Cricket. See, man, you got to be careful, man. Chicago, man, they trying to say Chicago ain't bad, right? But Chicago is bad, man. They need to stop all this killing and shooting, man. That's all I'm saying. They got to stop it, man. All this robbing, killing, and shooting, they got to stop it, man. I get tired of seeing it, man, and hearing about it. You know what I'm saying? I get tired of having a man. Look, it's a sad day in sad. Well, I'm gonna just say this, man. It's a sad day when you have to ride around carrying a gun every day. Like, who want to do that? I don't. I don't carry a gun, but I just, a lot of people I know carry guns around, man. And they say they gotta ride with them because it's bad out here. Only thing I do, man, I put my faith in God, man, because God is, listen, man, God is my gun. As long as I got God in my life, man, I don't feel I need to carry no type of weapon. Because my thing is this, man, if something happened to me, it was God's will and God's doing. So it's like, I let God handle things, man. I know I talk a lot of stuff about 223 shells, but I don't carry a gun, man. I let God fight my battles. God is my 223 shells. You know what I'm saying? That's who fight my battles for me, man. I don't worry about nobody. I don't worry about nothing. Cause like I say, when you got God in your corner, man, God gonna fight all your battles. And man, y'all, God been fighting for me. I'ma just say that. He pulled me out of some of the darkest times of my life. You know what I'm saying? he helped me get over things that would have almost just, took me out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very thankful for God, man. Very thankful. I dealt with a lot of demons and demonic spirits and souls, and man, for God to remove them people out of my life, man, was just the best thing. Yeah, I'm in Chicago, brother. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. You hear a lot about Chicago if you subscribe, man. I'm from Chicago, man. I'm from a place in Chicago called the Wild Hunters, Roseland. I love where I'm from, man. I hate it too sometimes. It's like a love-hate thing, Roseland is an area on the far south side of Chicago. And hey, man, Roseland made me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about getting that tattooed on my back. Made in Roseland. You know what I'm saying? Wild Hunters. Established 1980. It was rough growing up out there, man. You know what I'm saying? It was real rough, man. It was bad growing up out there, man. Shot at. You know what I'm saying? People robbed. I've been robbed a few times. Damn, some horror stories, man. I remember I almost died, man. Fresh year of high school, man. Dude came out the cut shooting at me. I had to get out of there, man. And that dude, man, he couldn't shoot. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Thank God he couldn't shoot, man. Cause if he knew how to aim, man, I probably wouldn't be here today, man. That man tried to kill me, man. Going and I was just going to see my girlfriend, man. Hold on, y'all. I was just going to see my girlfriend at school, man. She was, I was in freshie. I was a freshie in high school. She was still in 8th grade, so I used to go up to the school to see her, to walk her home from school actually. And I'm going to the school. And some old gang banging dudes from down the hill, man. Some old gang banging dudes from down the hill just ran out to cut on me. Like, what's up, man? And man, just let loose on me. I guess they thought I was somebody else. I don't know, man. But man, thank God dude didn't know how to shoot, man. Cause the bullets, you could hear them flying past me like shroom, shroom. And man, I took off running, man. I was so scared, man. That's the days I used to fear things, man. I was just scared, man, because I thought I was gonna die. Like this dude was shooting at me, man, for no reason. Mistaken identity. But he was so retarded and dumb, he didn't know how to shoot. And man, I heard that dude got killed some years later. Somebody killed him out there, man. But he was shooting at a lot of people, I heard. So, people like that, man, they always get, when you live by the sword, you die by it. That's a true statement. Everybody I know who lived by the sword either died by it or doing a lot of time in jail where they'll never get out. You know what I'm saying? So when you live by the sword, you're gonna die by it, or you're gonna suffer from it. You know what I'm saying? And man, that guy, man, he was trying to blow my head off, man. He was, pause, man. He was trying to blow me down, man. Pause. He was just, man, he was do 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 do. Fa 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 fa. I was, oh shit. You heard the bullets. They was shoom 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 shoom. I'm like, oh man, this dude almost killed me, man. Man, I didn't go back on State Street for probably 2 years after that. I'm like, man, I wouldn't even walk. I ain't going on State Street no more. I ain't used to go. I ain't going to Michigan for like 2 years. If I did, I had to go down 112th way. I felt safe going on Michigan through 112. But you would have never caught me going down 115th in Michigan after that. 115th in Michigan, that was off the limits because it's like, man, these dudes is killers down this hill, man. There was some killers down that hill, man. And thank God a lot of them guys is in jail. You know, well, like I said, they deceased. But when that guy, man, was shooting at me, man, I was just going to trying to go see my girlfriend, man. You know what I'm saying? Walk her home, man, and just, you know, man, he wasn't having that, man. I couldn't even walk her home after that, man. Shit, I couldn't go that way. Then I really got paranoid and nervous because I found out, like, my girl, she stayed down the hill, right by them niggas that shot at me. So I'm like, nah, I ain't walking her home no more. They try to kill me, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, that was his girlfriend or something. I don't know, man. I don't know why that dude shot at me that day, but man, that was one of the scariest days of my life, man. And thank God, man. Like I say, I lived through that, man, because it was just rough, man. So I say, man, look, when I be talking to the young brothers out there, man, I just be trying to tell them, look, man, I'm talking y'all from experience and life situations that I've been through. And I just don't want young brothers going down a path that I think a lot of my peers and, my associates went down, what I'm saying, where they lost their freedom, lost their life, what I'm saying, did time, came home, having rough patches in life. Like, I don't want the youth to go through that. So when they come sit in my chair, man, I love to talk to them young brothers about that so they can change their ways and change the way they think. You know, that tough guy mentality, we got to lose that, man. We got to lose that tough guy mentality and learn how to stand as men out here. Men, responsible men, men that take care of their family, take care of their kids. This was the preachings and teachings of, man, look, these was the teachings, man, and the preachings. I'm gonna just say that, man. And these was the teachings and the preachings. Man, look, instead of being a gangster and a killer, learn how to be men to your family, your children, you know, make your mom proud of you, man. Don't hurt your mom by going to jail. I was talking to a young brother the other day, man. Shout out to Lil Lord, man. This is my little buddy, man. Look, man, I fuck with him. Good young brother, man. You know what I'm saying? A real young brother, you know. And, we was just chopping it up, man. It was like, man, he was telling me how, man, look, he was talking to an old head, and the old head was telling him, like, man, I hurt my mama when I came here. He was down with an old head, and he was saying how the old head was like, man, I hurt my mama when I came in here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dang, man, a lot of brothers don't think about that. They don't think about when they go to jail, the people they hurting or leaving behind, like their mothers, their brothers, their sisters. Like, I went through that with my brother for 6 years where he was incarcerated. We like, damn, we don't know if he gonna make it out this bitch or not. Excuse my French, but man, bro had it, he was in there. It was rough in there for him, man. But he hold his own, man, bro. He stoned to the bone. But bro was, the other guy, my little buddy, man, he was just telling me how the old man in there who was locked up with him was telling him how he disappointed his mama. He hurt his mama by coming in there. And I'm like, man, he was telling me that. I'm just like, man, that's something to make you think, like, man, you don't want to go to jail, man, and hurt your mama, man, being there, man, and be away from your family, and can't, man, can't do nothing for your family from there. So, man, it's like, man, we gotta learn how to stay out of that place, and man, just you know, be right out here in society and do right by our peers and our people, and just try to stay out the way and stay out of trouble, man. Because temptation is out there, man. People gonna try you, people gonna test you. But man, look, like I say, man, the best thing to do is hold your own and walk and stand as a man. When you do that, you'll be well off in life. You'll be good, man. You ain't have to worry about nothing. And you also, like I say, live in peace, man. But hey, y'all, that's my talk for the night, man. Hey, look, subscribe to the YouTube channel, VELL the Barber. That's VELLTHEBARBER. VELL the Barber, man. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hey, book me for your next haircut if you're in the Chicagoland area. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do for a living, man. We love doing what we doing, man. Come sit down and chat with the barber, man. And hey, man, book me for your next DJ event. If you need a DJ, man, that's what we do as well, man. DJ your party, your club, your venue, your bar, whatever you need, we'll provide them services for you. But hey, man, that's my talk for the night, man. As always, y'all, stay hater free and stay sucker free out here, man, because there's a lot of haters that don't want to see you thrive and strive and succeed. There's a lot of suckers out here doing sucker shit, man, and we don't want to deal with no suckers, man. We avoid them, we ducking, we sucker ducking, and man, look, that's what it is, man, and we living our best life by doing so. So, hey, man, subscribe to the channel. Hey, man, as always, y'all, I'm out. Peace.